What up, and welcome. I'm Matthew Msingati, the designer and developer. This is my YouTube channel, Coded Design, where I teach coding and user interface design. In this video, I will be doing a code review. Obviously, as a developer, particularly learning from YouTube channel, you kind of get an interest to see how other people are coding, to see if their coding style or the new features or how they do things work for you, so that you can take some tricks and learn some other things, and also exercise your own skill as to, are you able to follow somebody else's code through and through and understand what's going on. So what I decided to do some time ago, I went to the internet and I got this PHP project. Most developers, what they do, they just do simple projects and then they upload them in different sites. I'm sorry that I forgot where I got this one. I really forgot. It was some time ago, but there is the name of the developer here, and also you will see his email. I think this is his email. So in this video, I want to do a code review. Obviously, I won't be reviewing this code in terms of the user interface. I respect that the developer, it's different from a designer and a user interface designer or UX designer. So I will be reviewing this code mainly on PHP, not the design aspect of it. So without wasting time, let's just get started. To be honest, I forgot now what is like the main purpose of the system. I really forgot, as I told you that I've downloaded it long time ago. So let's hope as we are using the system, we will get an idea and understanding of what is the system about. So this is the login screen. So you click login, and then from then there is some sort of an animation there for the screen when it's loading, and this is the some sort of a dashboard or a welcoming screen. So as you can see here, we've got orders, we've got categories, we've got product, and we've got users. So to me it seems like it's more like a point of sale kind of a system. I think there are products that are being sold, and then as you can see here, we've got pizzas, we've got Japanese. So I would like to assume it's more like a point of sale system. You will sell some items and there will be orders and that kind of a thing. So this is how it works, and then this is the dashboard, and then let's just go to orders and see what's going on there. Okay, this is a list of orders, and then you can add a new order. Let me just check, maybe by product name I can get an idea of. This is an order invoice and the order number, the amount, and the status. Okay, at this point in time I don't really know what was being ordered, but that's not important. Let me just add a new order and see what's going to happen. Okay, let me order a pizza. Let me just click pizza here. Okay, pay later. Okay, let me see order number. Maybe I'm supposed to put in the order number 1 2 3 4 5. Maybe I don't know how to use the system. Okay, let's see. Let me click Japanese. Oh, it looks like okay, if I click pizza, it looks like I'm supposed to click like sub menus, or this is Japanese. This is more like a group, so maybe here these are the items. Let me click this one. Yes, I think now the information has changed. So maybe under pizza we don't have the subgroup. My mistake. In terms of the order number, I'm not sure if I'm the one who's supposed to input the order number. So let me refresh. Now I think I kind of get the idea of what's going on. So I want Japanese and I want this one. So I would like to assume that since it's an input field, I will be putting an order number there, and then from then let me say pay. Okay, amount payable, that means this is the amount that is supposed to be paid, 452. Amount tendered, let me say 300. Okay, so amount payable is 452 and I'm paying 300, so I'm 152 rand short, which means I'm supposed to pay more. Or let's say I'm attending a client or a customer, the customer owes me 152. I don't think the 152 is supposed to be a change, but however, let's just click OK and see. Okay, pay. Data saved successfully. Let me wait for this. Okay, maybe this is a receipt. So here it's loading a receipt. If that's a receipt, then I will say that's an interesting functionality, or it's a good job. It's a good job if it can be a receipt or some sort of a proof of payment of some sort. Okay, that has just disappeared. Let me see. I think it's loading a print preview. Okay, here I think it's my computer, it's slow, it's not the program. It's got nothing to do with the program. Okay, it's still loading preview one sheet. Let's see what's there. Okay, we will check this one later. I hope I can continue. Okay, let me just close it. This one is not that important. Okay, after that, let's see. So let me go back. Let me just do the second order. Let me go to Chinese. Obviously, if I understood the language, I was going to have a better understanding of what's going on and what are these. But however, that's not that important. So let's say order number. Let me repeat the order number. I think it was 12245 before, and then let me try pay later this time. Okay, let's see. Done. Okay, let me go back home. Let me check my orders. Okay, here is the order number. So the order numbers can repeat, so there is no invoice number. So these are the ones that I did. This one is paid and this one is unpaid. Okay, let's check other things. Manage categories. Let's check here on manage categories what's going on. Okay, these are the categories. Okay, manage products. Okay, and the sales report. Okay, I'm not going to go through all these tabs. The reason why I was in this screen, I wanted you to get a context of the application. So I think now you already got the context of the application. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to jump straight to Visual Studio Code and open up this project, and then that's where I think I will be reviewing the project based on the code, not on the functionality. So let's jump straight to Visual Studio Code. Okay, this is Visual Studio Code and this is the project. Okay, first In terms of the functionality, I think the program, at least it does what it's supposed to do. Obviously there are those things that I really didn't understand, like the change, where if the customer owes me and then it says it returned that minus 125 as a change. That one I didn't understand, but I don't have a problem with that. I'm a developer myself. I know that it's not that easy to come up with something that is fully functional, because development is a process. And also this tutorial is about reviewing the code and trying to understand the code. So the developer has done a good job in terms of getting the system to be functional. As you have seen, the system is functional. It does what it's supposed to do. In a way, maybe we cannot hold him accountable for the things that I didn't understand. So now let's look at the code. So this is the structure, the application structure. So I want us to start here on the application structure. So based on what I see some sort of few folders. I don't see a list of folders with that have some sort of different parts or different sections of the whole entire application. However, it's like people have got their own way of doing things, so we cannot say you are supposed to have a list of folders here to really show what's going on into it. So maybe he's got his own way of doing. Now what I'm looking for here, I'm looking for an entry point to the system that is supposed to be an index file. So let's just quickly check here first. Okay, now I see. If we go here to database, this folder is here just for me as somebody who's interested on using the system to copy this and import it in my server. So in a way, we can act as if this folder doesn't exist, because it doesn't form part of the actual system. So in terms of those folders that I was looking for, the system is been designed in such a way that it doesn't have folders, it doesn't have much. The actual root folder is this one. So in this root folder, that's where we can say let's look for an index file. Here is the index file. So this is the entry to the system. Let's click there and see. Okay, now this is an entry to the system. This is this part is just plain HTML, and then here you can see this is a PHP code. This is a PHP code. It's checking if the system a session variable is set, which I believe is gonna be the title of the entire system. So it's just doing that here. And then as you can see here, we've got some conditions. If is set login, that means if not is set, that means if login is not set, then that means it must go to the login page. And then there is including a header.php here. Okay, that's fine. And then as I'm scrolling through, I can see some HTML, some CSS styles here. Okay, it's not a problem. Let's see what else is going on. This is the body, and then is including a top bar, including a nav bar. Okay, let's see, there's some PHP script. Okay, and then this looks like JavaScript. We've got also a JavaScript here. Okay, we've got some JavaScript here. Okay, let's see, and also this is CSS. Okay, Okay, what I'm gonna talk about here, first of all, this is a very opinionated video. That means that whatever that I say, it will be entirely my own opinion. So this is how I think, this is as far as my knowledge goes, and also this is my own personal way of doing things. Okay, based on what I see on this landing page, something that I don't really do, or I don't agree with, is the idea of mixing HTML and PHP together like in one page. This is what I mean. The solution to this might be an MVC pattern, whereby HTML is inside the view folders, and also HTML is in the view folders, and then PHP is basically in controllers and the models. So here, as you can see, that including a small section of PHP like this one in HTML, I don't have a problem with it. This one, I don't have a problem with it. But if we are going to have some conditionals, and also not just one or two lines of PHP, but multiple lines of PHP, I don't think I really agree with that. It makes it worse when we also going to have a JavaScript and CSS in the same file. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to open on the other side one of my project. I am busy with the school management system, so I'm just going to open one of my project so that I can explain in conjunction with that project, so that you can get an idea of whatever that I'm talking about. So my main challenge here, first, this developer didn't apply the MVC pattern, or any pattern that might help to structure the code. So the code is not, I can say, well structured, particularly in terms of the MVC pattern. So basically, the MVC pattern states that it revolves around separation of concern. Have files that will only deal with HTML, and those files are called the views. And then you have files that will only have controllers, which is they will have PHP, but they are controllers, so they are doing they are concerned about a certain functionality of the application. And then we've got the model. You will still find PHP there, of course, but that PHP will be concerned about the database aspect of the project. So the MVC is like the model, view, and the controllers. The controllers are just all the files that relates to the presentation of the application. And the controllers, there is the PHP file, yes, but they are concerned about the logic and the decision that needs to be done. And the model is going to be a group of files that are relating to connecting to a database. So my point number one, the developer didn't apply that. However, I'm not saying there is something wrong with having everything in one place. There is nothing wrong with that, but for me, I like to apply the MVC pattern. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to load a project of mine on the side. And then I will show you how I've implemented the MVC pattern. Let's see. Okay, let's just check SMS. Okay, so that's the first thing. So this means that in, let's say, in this file, I was hoping to see a lot of HTML in the index folder, let's say, and in terms of the styles, I think it's not even the MVC pattern. The CSS styles are supposed to be inside an external style sheet. If I was developing the code, I was going to have a separate folder that has got the styles. The CSS, it's all the piece of code that controls how the site looks like. It controls the colors and other things. So the first thing that I will change in this code, number one, I will clean it up a little bit. I will take all the CSS files to a separate CSS file, and also I will take the JavaScript to a separate JavaScript file, and I will leave the necessary files in this file index. However, point number two, the index file is an entry point of your application. So what I usually use the index file for, I use it for some sort of, not necessarily bootstrapping, but it is the file that directly communicate to what can I say, to the front end. So meaning that whatever that is being done is an entry point to your application. That's what I want to say. An index file is an entry point to application. So meaning that for me, how I do things, I don't really put a lot of HTML in it. Okay, let me just quickly show you here. Okay, this is my folder structure. However, I cannot say anything about the folder structure because programmers have got their different style of programming. But this is what I'm trying to say. In my folder structure, I've got the public folder. This is the folder that is publicly available. So let's check here on my index file. Obviously here there might be a code that is only here for experimental purposes. I will quickly tell you which one is that. Let me just quickly wait for this one to load. Okay, for instance, here I was just testing an email thing here. Let me check. Yeah, here I was just testing an email, and here I was just testing a file. Okay, that is it. Okay, container. Okay, so all of this is just the experiment from here. I'm just gonna delete everything that is just for the experiment, and then I will show you ideally how my index page looks like. Okay, ideally my index page looks like this. I've got a comment here: please change app root when creating a new app, which is this is I'm including my auto load function. I will explain that in a different video. And then from then here I'm creating a new object, which is a main dependency, the main di container, dependency injection container. And then from then I will create a new class, and then I will create a new router, which is a new object, and I will pass as a dependency. I will inject this new dependency injection container. So this index, since it's an entry point, what it does, first of all, it includes my autoloader so that I can load the classes automatically, and then from then it creates a dependency injection container because it's a dependency that is going to be used by the router, as you can see here, and also it creates an application. The point is, for me, this index does only one thing, or it doesn't have some sort of an HTML. It's concerned about like one thing and one thing only. What it does, it just instantiate, it directly communicate it's an entry point to my application. So whenever you hit www dot whatever, then you will land in this page. So as you can see that it doesn't do much. It's only concerned about a certain group of instruction, and also it's simple and clean and straight to the point. However, I must also note or explain that this is object-oriented programming. Maybe it might happen, the reason why I've got few lines of code, it's because of its object-oriented programming. It means that behind this instantiation there is a lot of code going on, and also this new router, there's a lot of things going on. But however, what I was trying to say, number one, the developer didn't apply the MVC pattern. So let's just quickly check here. So this is my index file, is just plain like this, nothing more, nothing less. Now let's look at the folder structure. So as you can see here, I've got UI components. All the components that has got something to do with the UI, which is the views that will be displayed on screen, they are all here. For instance, if we talk of the login, we've got the login, and then the login has got the controller, the login has got the model, and the login has got the view. So as you can see here, we've got the HTML part of the login section. Let's check how much of PHP is here. As you can see, mostly it's just plain HTML. So behind the MVC pattern, the idea is that you need to, this file, it needs to be a dump file if it's a view. What do I mean by dump? It means that it must not be aware of a lot of things. As you can see that it doesn't have PHP in it. It means that it's very, very dump, and it's only aware of being a view, which is it has got only HTML. How is the MVC helping? It means that if I want to take this file and use it somewhere else, I can do that, because it's only mainly concerned about what? About being an HTML file. I can take it to another program and use it. How am I going to do that? First of all, I name my my views as components, UI component. What do I mean by component? I mean it's a folder. So if I've got a view here, these files are helping this view by organizing everything that this view will need. Hence I'm calling these components. So if I were to reuse this view, I will just copy this login component as I name it. It comes with its own controllers, it comes with its own models, and that's it. So let's just quickly look at controllers. As you can see here, this is concerned about the HTML, and then let's look at the controller. What's going on? A controller is a PHP code, obviously. As you can see that mostly in my files I don't have like a lot of coding. Yes, there are some classes that have got a lot of coding, but it is in at my interest, or it's my interest to make my code as clean as possible. So as you can see that this is a login controller, it extend abstract controller. So this is it. I will explain all these things later, but this is my controller. And then from then, let's look at the model. Okay, this is the login model. As you can see that this has got something to do with getting information from the database. But if we can see here, we've got a lot of things in one file. So the MVC pattern has not been applied. So for me, that was my first take on it. I hope this helps you, and if it has helped you, please subscribe.